Hi, this is Brotman, the recovery coach. I just wanted to talk about a couple of things today. First, just want to point out that all my talks, all my videos are completely extemporaneous, and I think you probably figured that out by now, but I don't use scripts, so sometimes if I stutter or stammer or this or something like that, please bear with me, but I don't like to be robotic, and I do not like to follow a script. Okay, let me just go through that. On previous videos, I've spoken a little bit about what recovery coaching is all about. But today I want to talk specifically about how I handle recovery coaching. The first step is to try to identify a program to either detox or to begin your recovery in. Not everybody has to really detox, but getting off drugs is an important thing, and there's many options. Most popular are probably an inpatient or resident program, or a partial residency program where you don't sleep at the facility, but you work 8 or 9 hours a day in meetings and groups and things like that. They're very popular. If you can afford a residential program or an inpatient program and your doctor thinks you really need one, I'm here to help you decide, number one, what program is for you, what you think you want to work with, what you can afford. Now, a lot of these programs are based on different principles. I'm talking about the inpatient and the resident programs, and the IOPs, which is the outpatient program. Some of them are 12-step based, religious based, and there's obviously nothing wrong with that. They've helped millions of people. Many of them, I don't really want to mention names in the video, I might get sued, are non-12-step programs. They're run by, some of them are run for profit, some of them are non-profit organizations. The bottom line is they all mean well, they're all accomplishing something important. I help you identify the proper program to go into, and if you're in an inpatient resident or a residential care program, I visit you whenever is possible. There's different rules on different programs. Some people can have visitors, some people can only have visitors that are family members. As a coach, some organizations allow the coaches to be there, some don't, so it's touchy, but I'm there with you as often as I can. When you leave a residential program, usually 30 days to 90 days, some are shorter, some are just detox 5 days, 3 days, something like that, but when you typically leave a month-long program, it's time to identify an ongoing type of program, either a 12-step program like AA or an NA, which is Narcotics Anonymous and Alcoholics Anonymous, or something like Smart Recovery, which is not a non-12-step program, and I've spoken about them in other videos. The idea is the same: fellowship, helping to be accountable for yourselves and to stop drugs. The process behind them are completely different, and it depends which you're into. Some do both. Some are both follow for spiritual-based programs, and something like Smart Recovery, which is I mentioned earlier, a science-based program. Something like Heart of Recovery is additionally, I think I mentioned that earlier too, that's a Buddhist program run by Shambhala, which is a Tibetan Buddhist organization, and dozens of people at each meeting, really good meetings, and a lot is accomplished. Additionally, I work with meditation and mindfulness. I think to get centered is really important in helping you recover. First thing, you need to replace your alcohol or drug use with some other, I don't want to call it a habit, because a habit denotes or connotes a bad thing, but you have to replace it with something that's positive. Meditation is a great practice. Exercise, golf, walking, swimming, anything that doesn't become addictive as well. And again, addictive means when you start to do something and it's becoming harmful to your health and your recovery. I follow programs like REBT and cognitive therapy, cognitive behavior therapy. Uh, those two are something that's really smart based, uh, and they're sort of psychological principles, and they're really great tools for identifying why you use, helping to curtail urges and help you develop a better life. And that's what it's all about. I work with family recovery, which means the people that your family and friends, the people that you interact with. It's great that you're in recovery, but a lot of times family and friends have to understand and either work with you or have explained to them what recovery is all about. It becomes really important when people experience things like relapses or lapses, fallbacks, step backs. Hopefully they don't. They don't occur, and when they do, they don't last very long. But it's important that people understand that when you have a relapse and a lapse, I hate to call them relapses, and I keep on calling them that. That it doesn't stop what you've accomplished previously. If I said it earlier, if you're in a program, or if you've abstained for 6 months, and you have a setback that sets you back, 2 days, and you drank or you used drugs or something for 2 days, you smoked a couple of joints or something like that, you can't stop. You can't not count the 6 months that you had in abstinence, and you learn something from that. You learned how to be sober. You learned how not to give in to your urges, because we take the urge that you just had that caused you to use again or drink again, and work with that. Work in role playing or cognitive behavior, REBT, DEADS, which is another program or another tool that Smart Recovery uses to help you identify urges and stop them in their tracks. So we use that, and to help you recover in your recovery from things like lapses. Family recovery is, as I said, is very important, because they help your family or friends understand what you're going through, especially if they're not also in recovery. And sometimes you find that especially a close family member, is an enabler. Sometimes they're your drinking buddy or your drugging buddy, and you don't want to give up your marriage because you're in recovery, but your spouse has to understand that your recovery is important to you, and they shouldn't be actively indulging in drugs or alcohol if you object to that. Now, some of my clients say, do what you want. I don't want my recovery to affect your life, and I actually prescribe to that. But you have to set the ground rules, and I help you do that. It's a consultative type of coaching, where we work together in setting the ground rules and helping your family and yourself understand how you need to work through to get to your recovery and to stay sober. A recovery companion. I'm going to look at that almost as a sponsor. Now, most of the programs I've prescribed to or subscribed to do not have sponsors. AA uses sponsors, NA uses sponsors. Smart Recovery and Heart of Recovery, they don't use sponsors. But you need a friend. You need a companion or a friend or someone that you can call if you're having problems, if you need to discuss something. And as your coach, I'm always there for to consult with you, to talk to you and help you out. Basically, a sober coach. A sober coach, a recovery coach, someone that knows what it's like to be in recovery and know what it's like to be sober. And I call it sober, either abstaining from drugs or alcohol. It typically it has a connotation of alcohol, but it applies to both drugs and alcohol. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. Anybody has any questions for what I said in this video, please leave me a message or give me a call. My phone number and my email address are always in the comment sections. Please get in touch with me if you're having a problem, if you need a coach, or if I can help you in any way. I'm always here for you. Typically in Florida, I travel all through Florida working with clients. I also travel to other places, so don't be afraid to call me or email me if you're seeing this video. Have a great day and be good.